Okay, kindness is going to win the battle, man. Patience and kindness. Because you do not know. We're going right with what we were talking about last time. You do not know what somebody's going through. You just do not. My very first semester of college, this is a banger story, okay? So I wake up and I have this class in like half an hour ish. And time is just kind of rolling by, as time does. Time just keeps rolling by. And I need to take a shower. My roommate is in the shower. He's probably having the most amazing shower, I'm sure. He's having this amazing shower, and I was so tempted because like everything seemed to be lined up, right? I just have to get a ride from him, or I need to take a shower, or I wasn't even thinking about getting a ride. I just wanted my shower, right? I was thinking about me. But I was able to step away from me, and I was able to think of him for a second. This is kind of difficult because at the time we're having there's a little bit of banter going on. It wasn't all super productive, useful, constructive banter. Some of it was like butting heads, you know? Some of it was that. But I was able to hold myself back, and I didn't knock on the door and be like, hey! I didn't do that. I waited. I don't even know if I prayed. I don't think I did any of that. I just sort of waited it out. Maybe I brushed my teeth. You know, there's always other things you can do, right? So I was doing something else instead of thinking about that. And then, you know, he comes out of the shower with his bath towel, you know, his robe on and whatever. He's like, hey, Dallin, do you want to ride to class? And he looks so like, he's just like chill, like he has his like robe on and he's just like, he looks happy. He looks alive. He looks excited. And it's because I didn't interrupt his flow, you know? I didn't interrupt his moment, right? He was trying to have his moment, man. I let him have his beautiful moment. That's what I did for him. That was an act of patience and kindness, right? It was beautiful. He's like, do you need a ride to class? I was like, sure. And I was like, can I take a shower real quick? He's like, yeah, man. So I went and taken a shower, and it wasn't even that long of a shower, but I felt better. And it's like one of those things where you just know that you did something right, you know, did something good. And so I took that shower, and then we drove to class, and that was it. And I shared that on my podcast the other day before. I love that story because it tells me that you don't need to know what somebody's going through at all, and also just to be patient. Because there's been so many times where I'm talking with somebody like at a train or an airport, and they start talking to me, and instead of me being like, hey, hurry this story along, I don't want to hear this, or I've heard this before, you keep listening. And keep listening. This happened pretty recently. I was on a trip and I was driving from Florida back up to North Carolina where I live at my parents' house, and I stopped at I think it was in Georgia maybe. There's like a McDonald's, or maybe I was going down to Florida. That was my brother. He's awesome. He's watching some videos right now. I'm in his room. This is his room. He's letting me stay here, so kudos to him. Thank you. Yeah, but this guy wanted he came up to me and he asked if I could get him a Big Mac because he said he'd been up all day, and you know, people usually don't approach me. I usually approach people, but I guess something from my calmness or something resonated with him, and I was just vibing, dude. I was just vibing, you know, hanging out. But he went over and talked with me, and I got him a Big Mac, and I decided to just make it his moment. You know, that's what you gotta do. So I made his moment, and he just whatever he wanted. So he got like a Big Mac, and he got some other stuff. It's like we may not run out into each other ever again. And he also had a podcasting voice, and I was like, dude, do you do podcasts? He's like, no, man. I'm like, bro, why aren't you doing podcasts? So I actually like got his phone number, or he wanted my phone number, or whatever. I got his phone number, and I still am kind of crossing my fingers he gets into podcasting, because I feel like he just... But it is more than just the podcasting voice, and I've been working on my podcasting voice for a long time, like a long time, and it's not something you just magically wake up and you have, I don't think. I think there's a lot of practice, especially with inflections and intonations. I don't even think about that stuff anymore. I just do it because I've been doing it for so long. But, you know, if I'd been like, hey, man, go away, or we look at like, just, I don't know. You know, I was like, I could have pushed him away. But you know what I've really learned is like how, in a way, like, it's sort of like God is teaching us and he's testing us at the same time. Like, what will you do if I put this person in your life? What will you do? And this is humbling because when you do have those moments where we bang on the door or we try to hurry people along, we can hurt their feelings or we can push them out of our lives or whatever. And maybe somebody else will come into the picture and it's like, did you learn your lesson? And that's the beautiful thing about life, is it's like a revolving door. Even if somebody is completely out of your life, chances are you took something from them, like lesson that you can apply in case you run into somebody in a similar situation. You're like, okay, I have some empathy. I have this empathy now that I did not show as much as I could have. And now I can share this. Now I can use this again. And there's a real beauty to that. See, this is why we love the moment. We love the moment. Because I know I will not be recording this in my brother's room forever, right? And so we just lean on kindness, man. Lean on kindness. That's the message, man. Lean on kindness because you do not know what somebody is going through. So I hope that gave you some perspective, and just spread some love today. Use the GUM method. Come prepared, ready to give something. Understand, listen. Like if somebody doesn't, if they just need you to understand, then that's cool. And create a moment if it gets that far. And if it doesn't, you know, there's a lot of people that need to be heard. So you can do your part. And that's all we got. So thank you for listening. I will see you next Friday. Thank you. Subscribe for more GUM method and other stuff. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.